Oh my gosh, it has been astronomical. Seriously. My favorite part about ChangeEngine is that it is extremely easy to use. By using the features that Easy Generator gives us, seriously, you can create a communication in 5 minutes and roll it out to whatever segment is needed. I'll get a document that is outlining the bonus structure. We'll take those documents that we receive and plug them into ChangeEngine, and using the AI, the system will create a bonus document that is much more easily understood by the employee. Instead of receiving a 5-page document that they might never read through. I am a human resources generalist at Rose. I've been with the company for just over a year. I manage all of our Midwest and Eastern regions, but I help out with some company-wide initiatives, including Change Engine and our HR communications. In addition to that, I'm also managing our learning and development program. I assist with our benefit administration, employee relations, and employee recognitions. Something that makes Rose Paving different is our workforce is split between our office staff and then our field staff. So we have a large population of employees that are fully out in the field doing the day-to-day work for us. And that makes it unique in the sense that sometimes it can be challenging to get those HR communications out to those employees. So I would say that definitely is a big challenge for us, just trying to make sure that we're able to get communications out to all of our employees. They feel like a part of the team, whether that would be in an office setting or out on the road. We want them to feel like a part of the Rose Paving family. The segmentation has really been a game changer for us. Instead of sending out mass communications to all of our employees, we've really been able to determine groups based on where our employees are located and the types of roles that they are in, so that the communications are really tailored to exactly what the employee needs. When an employee feels like they're getting mass communications that don't apply to them, a lot of times the first thing that they're going to do if it's an HR email is get rid of it. So now that we do have those segments, employees are more assured that the communications that are being sent to them are truly meant for them. And we're definitely seeing higher levels of engagement because of that. Employees are responding to our communications. We're able to track those questions, comments, concerns, and then create actionable goals from those communications based on the employee feedback that we receive.
Instead of these generic corporate blasts, you're able to make these tailored communications, which employees are then more likely to open. And so I think we need to dig further into there, because these are not just communications. These are critical, important reminders about compliance, benefits, and especially, I imagine, in an industry like yours, safety and compliance. These are really, really critical, working with field employees who are out on the field that may, put their health at risk or safety at risk.
Yeah, absolutely. So engagement is super important, like you said, because some of the communications are tailored around safety. One of our core values at Rose Paving is safety. We tried to highlight it in all of our communications and roll that out to all employees. The other challenge that I would like to bring up that Change Engine has definitely been able to assist with is with some of our employees, we do have a language barrier. So we do have a large population of Spanish speaking employees. So being able to roll out both English and Spanish communications is critical for our employees, and also making sure that that message is clearly conveyed to them in a manner in which they can understand. So that has been really great for us as well.
I think this is the reality for most companies out there now, that they have a diverse employee group, that their first language might not be English, or, it might be something else. And so when you're getting this critical information out, you said you're in charge of helping with learning and development. If that training is hard to understand simply due to a language barrier, that's going to create a real big challenge with compliance, like you said, safety. It's just critical information. the hot topic has been AI. How have you leveraged AI to streamline this and scale communications that are more tailored?
Oh my gosh, it has been astronomical. Seriously. My favorite part about ChangeEngine is that it is extremely easy to use. I know that when we were first training on the system, it's like this is a little bit overwhelming, right? You see the portal and you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many things that I can do, but do I have enough time in the day to implement all of these communications? By using the features that Easy Generator gives us, seriously, you can create a communication in 5 minutes and roll it out to whatever segment is needed. The bonus project that we worked on in Change Engine is definitely a great example of how Change Engine can help us roll out communications to employees in an easily digestible manner. So at Rose Paving, we have a variety of different bonus structures and different bonus plans for different roles. So a lot of times I'll get a document that is outlining the bonus structure, but even for me, sometimes it can be a little bit confusing to digest, right? So we'll take those documents that we receive and plug them into Change Engine, and using the AI, the system will create a bonus document that is much more easily understood by the employee, and we're able to roll that out to them through Change Engine instead of receiving a 5-page document that they might never read through. It's a one-pager that outlines exactly what their bonus structure looks like. They can digest it, ask questions if needed, and then we're good to go. So that feature has been amazing, and employees absolutely love the way that our communications look, saying that they're much easier to understand than prior.
I also know that you've automated some key moments in an employee journey, like the 30, 60, 90-day check-ins concept, and also even recognition through birthdays and anniversaries. How have you leveraged automation for that, and how has that changed your day-to-day from before?
So, for example, the birthday and anniversary reminders, it helps us keep track of our employees and upcoming milestones so that we're ahead of the game instead of having to pull a report, right? Change Engine is letting us know when those anniversaries and birthdays are coming up. And same with managers, instead of not knowing until the day of that, their employee is reaching a milestone or a birthday, they're getting a reminder 7 days ahead. They're able to plan and actually celebrate that employee when that day comes. One of the things that our organization has talked a lot about is hearing more from our executives. And one of the projects that we implemented was a birthday and anniversary message from our executive team. And we have received feedback from our employees that they're just so grateful that our executive team knows that their birthday or anniversary has come up and that they feel like they are connected to the team. So we just love hearing that feedback and knowing that this brings our employees closer to the rest of the team.
I think you touched on some really important stuff there. It's not just the automated messages directly to the employees, but it's to help support the leadership team much better so that they can better support their teams, even up to the senior executive level where they are, let's face it, very, very busy. I mean, we're all busy, but for them to be tracked in a spreadsheet, thousands and hundreds of employees is just unrealistic. And so that is amazing to have enabled executive leadership to create these stronger bonds and connections directly with the employees whenever these milestones come up.
Yeah, absolutely. Employees really at the core want to feel heard and feel like they're a part of the team. So being able to use the automation to send out those messages, but then actually take it a step further and have the option for communication after the initial message goes out has been critical to our employees feeling like they are a part of the Rose Paving family, a part of the team, and really getting a feel for that family oriented culture that we've worked so hard to build here. When it comes to onboarding, it can be definitely a challenge at our organization because employees are all over the country, right? So we are meeting with them virtually. And although it's a great time to connect, answer questions, a lot of times after the call, employees will have questions as to next steps for new hire onboarding. And these communications have really helped answer a lot of the employee questions before they reach the HR team, right? So they're not just meeting with us and then saying, well, what's next? They're meeting with us and then after the fact, getting continuous communications, letting them know about our processes and procedures and the benefits of working at Rose Paving. We're able to present them with information on programs that they might not have otherwise known existed. So because of that, that frees up HR's time and allows us to continue to improve processes and programs at the organization. I definitely think that it helps our new employees feel connected to the team, even if they're not at our corporate headquarters. And then it's also helping them answer some of the questions that they might have had lingering because not all of our sites have an HR representative on site. So it's helping them feel more connected to the team. Before ChangeEngine, 30, 60, 90-day check-ins with managers, we were fully relying on the manager to complete that check-in independently. There was no really way for us to track if the employee and manager were actually sitting down and completing those check-ins. Where before it was checking a box, now it's really opening up those conversations with employees and encouraging them throughout the employee's career. Our manager coaching series has by far been the biggest hit within our organization. But for managers, a lot of times what they come to be looking for is more of those soft skill trainings and help with managing their team specifically. So these mini coaching series are so easily digestible by the manager. They get the email, they take a look at the tips, they can download the additional resources, and then they can really tailor the series to their employees. So they absolutely love it. It really helps them guide conversations with their employees and better understand what their employees need in terms of support to be the best that they can in their role. So it definitely goes beyond just those technical skills, but also working on those soft skills with their employees and understanding their needs and then tailoring it from there and creating really great conversations that are beneficial for both the manager and the employee.
I feel like this is a big miss in a lot of places, especially for new managers who may have never had a one-on-one conversation or even feedback before, right? There's so many technical skills, like you mentioned at Rose Paving, but really we're working with people at the end of the day. And so that teamwork, collaboration, communication, feedback, this is all critical to making sure that there's good relationships.
I think that the most important thing for us in releasing these communications about open roles is letting employees know that there is a career path for them at Rose Paving, and it's right in front of them right now. So not only do we want to have employees reach out to friends, family members for referrals, but we also want them to feel like they have a growth path here and that the time is now. So being able to share those communications about open roles, the potential for relocation or for a lateral change if they so choose, it's all available and at their fingertips. And because, right, we have high turnover in an industry like construction, we always have open roles. And I think that that's something that is important is that ChangeEngine has really allowed us to keep these communications consistent and keep employees thinking about what their career path looks like at the organization on a weekly or monthly basis, whatever that might be, instead of just having those conversations at the end of the year during your annual performance review, right? Employees are now thinking about the open positions and opportunities for growth within the organization year round. And that allows us to promote from within way more often than we were before. And like you said, because of that, you definitely see cost savings, not having to hire externally for all of our positions and being able to promote from within. It's been great to see. And that also just like really helps employees feel motivated, right? When they feel like they do have a path for growth. It's not like you're coming into this role and we expect you to stay here, for 5 years, right? We want you to feel like when you are ready, we're ready to make that adjustment with you and take your career to the next level. So, culture has been at the forefront of conversations in HR. So, with our company wide culture survey, we're definitely just hoping to get a pulse on how employees are feeling about the culture at Rose Paving, areas that they feel like we can improve, and then creating actionable goals from there to make sure that all employees feel like their feedback is not only heard, but that we actually are taking it into consideration when we make policy changes. So using ChangeEngine, we'll be able to promote those culture surveys. A lot of times in HR, you send a culture survey out, right? And your engagement is relatively low. Employees have a lot of questions around, is the survey anonymous? What can I say versus what can't I say? And so with ChangeEngine, it's going to be very easy to outline how the survey is going to be sent out and any facts and questions that we can provide to employees to make them feel confident. The information that they will be providing to us will be taken into consideration. We'll be able to create actionable goals from it, but they can also be rest assured that nobody will know where the content came from.
Yes, I think people just think you just put together a survey, some questions, and send it out. But getting engagement, people to respond to the survey, and getting rid of as many barriers as possible and fears around it or uncertainty is so important so that you can gather the feedback that you want.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, that definitely helps us to digest the information. And something that's super important when it comes to culture surveys is letting employees know that you are taking action on the different items that have been brought to your attention in a timely manner. Nobody wants to take a survey and then think that that information that they provided is going nowhere. So leveraging AI will definitely help us digest the information quicker so that we can send out communications to employees, letting them know that we're working on this in a more timely manner so that they feel heard. And the next time we roll out a culture survey, they know that when they provide us with feedback on how they're feeling about the culture, we're going to take action and it's going to be timely. They're not going to have to wait until the following year to see those changes in action. It will be much faster because we're able to leverage that AI. One of the projects that I'm working on is breaking our employee handbook up into multiple communications so that it's just quick, one-page communication. They can read the certain section that we're sending out, digest it, and then another one will come a week later, right? So I feel more confident that our employees are actually going to read the communication and better understand our policies and procedures, and in turn make Rose Paving a safer place to work and a more enjoyable place to work because of that. So I would say my advice would be to focus on tying programs back to measurable outcomes and then also using storytelling. So sharing employee feedback and showing the human side of the business, whether that be through communications or impact stories, is definitely super important and can help bring your employees closer together and really let your culture shine.